Hello, all of my best friends. This is Key of W with Islands of Insight, and I just finished a very difficult puzzle down there that took me so long that I need to break up the rest of my exploration on this place to another video, which is what I'm doing. So I'm gonna try to get the last couple of puzzles in this maze. I think there's only two more. There's this 5 Pipper and the 3-star puzzle. Um, shouldn't be too hard to reach this one. And hopefully this is a nice change of pace from the... Yeah, this can be easier. So same rule as before, all singletons, no dominoes, no diagonals. So if this can see 9 out of the 11 that it can see, that means 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to have to see these cells. Let's see. This 3 can go this far, or not at all. So the dark cell is going to be one of these 3. That's going to force these to be light cells. Let's see. The 5 could move all the way up there. The 4 can't go all the way over. But that doesn't tell me which cells are going to be white. That's as far as that can go. So this can't be a dark cell. That's got to be a light cell. Which means down this direction, one of these 2 is dark. Those are all light cells. Now the 5 can't extend all the way here. Let's see what else. The 4 now can only extend to the left twice, meaning this can't be a dark cell. Because the thing about these darks, there's only 1 per row and column, so that sort of solves certain problems here. Let's see. One of these 2, meaning both of those have to be light. Here, or these 2. These both have to be light if one of these 2 is dark, which means the 4 can't extend up there. It can only extend this far, meaning it is forced to go to the left. We've solved 1 row and column. This 5 can only extend up 1 more space, meaning this has to be a light cell here. The 9 should be complete, so is the 3. So is that row. Now the 4 is complete, solves these rows, meaning all we have left is this piece, and we're done. Wow, that's certainly easier than the last puzzle I did. I gotta get up 1 more level to reach that 3-star, and I do that by heading this way? Don't remember, this maze is actually much trickier than the other ones. I say that affectionately. I do like how this maze is trickier, because I did get sick and tired of easy mazes. So, this direction. Oh, no, let's go around. We got it. No dominoes or diagonals, it's all singletons. So this 3, which direction we're going? It's possible for the 5 not to touch the 6. This is an interesting arrangement. Well, at least one of these 2 is going to be a dark cell. Is it possible for both? Yes, it is possible for both, but I'm not sure about that yet. In here, the 6 has to go up or down at least once, so it is impossible. Well, it's possible for both of these to be light cells, but at least one of these is a dark cell. I know that much. What if we attach this 3 up or down? Let's see if we get any problems from that. If I attach the 3 up, I am forced to make diagonals. That does put a dark cell here. If I attach the 3 down, I also get diagonals. So these do, in fact, have to have 2 dark cells here. And we completely flesh it out. Then the rest of these are dark cells. The 6 now is going to only move up or down, but not both. This 4 can only extend out 1 more space, but it could be this one. So I don't know if both dark cells are on this side. This 5 cannot... 5 has to extend up, because it can't... If it doesn't, then it will connect to the 4. So that does finalize our 6. Has to go at least 1 space this way. Oops. Okay. This is a start. What do we do with this guy here? There has to be one in here, but I don't know about the other side. Actually, hold on. There. Or there. Is there any way this is a dark cell? Yes. So it's either this and that, or it would be here and here. Well, if it was these two, we would force dark cells in these locations. So what would that do for us? Doesn't seem to really help us out yet. If I say it's the other way around, that one is complete. Looks like this is now solvable. That would have to be... I think this is just how we do it. Okay. Interesting puzzle. I think that clears out all the puzzles. Is that one solved? No. That one there is not solved yet. Let's get all these. No. Can I not get over? How do I get over there? Go through the central area, maybe? Maybe this way? Yes. Okay. Singletons only, same as before. It's not going to be this because... no, sorry. It has to be this one. It's not going to be either side here because then we would have a diagonal. So we do have to start with the 2. Like so. We learned that from our 5-star puzzle. The 4 now is set. That column is done. This row is done. The 6 now... If this... Either one of these could be. Which means one of these 2 is black, one of these 2 is black. So these have to be white. 8 can move in pretty much any direction at the moment. Could this ever be a black cell? Yeah. Now in here, we could have 2 and connect here. The furthest this can extend... Oh, that would take care of it. I was thinking this would overload it. If this were a dark cell, we would be forced to bring the 8 down like this, and we would have no place for a second. So this has to be a light cell. Now the 8 can... One of those 2 has to be dark, one of these 2 has to be dark. Both have... Ooh. This is possible. But one of these 2 has to be dark, so now we know these are the dark cells here. That's finished. Okay. One of these 3, so that's a light cell. I can get the rest just from... Okay, one of these 3 has to be a dark cell, so those are light cells. Same with one of these. I think all of these have to be light cells. So we're going to have something here. That means our dark cell's probably here, because if it's one of these... Oh, no. Could be. This probably has to be a light cell. Yeah. If this were a dark cell, we'd be in trouble. We wouldn't have enough space for the 2, so that's a light cell. Those are your dark cells. These are your dark cells. Now, these are your dark cells, and we're done. I liked that one. That one made it look like I had to do some real guesswork, but I did not. I just had to use my giant brain. Let's find our way back to the thing. I just want to get out of this maze. I could warp to the nearest place, but I don't want to do that. This just took me back to the beginning of the maze. That wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it is what I got. That's back to the 5-star puzzle. There. This should take me up. Yeah. Okay. We're home free. I think that's all the puzzles over here. Maybe that's not. I don't see any other ones. but I'll keep my eye open for some other things. There are, it says 16 more puzzles here. I don't know where they're going to be. Actually, hold on, I do. There's the pattern grids I never solved. So let's head over and spend a few minutes seeing if I can figure these out. I might not be able to. I might just be stuck here. So I got this one. The way this pattern worked was... Oh, I don't know. It's already solved, but I don't have the solution here. This one was about... Oh, it was about inverting the colors there. So maybe this is also going to be inverting colors? No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, it's not as obvious what this one's going to be. Like, I think this is related to the one below it. So we need to find a way that transform this here. But how are these being transformed? It's only 5 Pipper. They don't think this one's too hard. Or unless it's transformation from here to there. But that doesn't make any sense to me, how these go. I mean, there is, in this one, there's a symmetry. So if you divide it in half, it's rotationally symmetrical. Same with this one. So look at this white L. It's like this shape is symmetrical. Here it is not, but it wasn't symmetrical up here. So what is happening to both of these? I mean, I could say that there's some weird split symmetries. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like on this first one, down the very center is the symmetry. But on this one, if you imagine a symmetry down the halfway mark of here, and then the halfway mark of here, and each half is symmetrical with itself, but it doesn't explain what I would need to put in, like why this becomes that. Yeah, they both have that strange way of doing symmetry, but why does this turn into that? This one could be symmetry on the half, but it also is just symmetrical every 2. Right? This is all 6 are symmetrical. This is every 3. This is every 2. But how? They don't have the same number of the color. Like this half here, this 3x4, has 4 dark squares. This one has 7, so there's no relation there. It's not like a Conway's Game of Life thing where it depends on the surrounding ones. At least there's no way to tell from here how that works. I mean, the weird thing is this one only swaps a couple. Like if I swapped this group of 3 with this group of 3 here, and then this group of 3 with that group of 3, we would get this. That's not what's going on here, I don't think. I don't see anywhere. This group of 3 is this group of 3 here. This one is down. This one is here. There. But I don't see the logic of which one goes where. This group of 3 on this row goes up to the top left corner, but why? That doesn't make any sense. Why am I doing it this way? Hmm. No, that can't be right. It can't just be like we're swapping them, but what's the logic of what we're swapping? I just do not see it. If I look a little harder, will I suddenly see it? I don't know if I will. I'm gonna try this one over this side. This one's supposed to be more difficult, so no. Oh yeah, this one I didn't understand at all either. Hmm. So now it's this piece. So is it a matter of this becomes this becomes this? And so I need to find how this changes to here and then changes to there? Or is it this one becomes the one underneath? So I have to find what becomes of the one underneath here. These two are close enough together that I would imagine that they're related. Like, all this one does is it makes this one dark, adds that, and then moves up these dark ones. So I'm not sure why that happens. Then over here, it's a lot of change. Whereas this, I don't see how it would relate to here at all. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that at some other time. I know there's more, right? Yeah, there's some more up here. How about you? You got a 2-star puzzle? Okay. Okay. I have to figure two things out. I have to figure out the way, like, okay, how to indicate what's going on. That's what the 2x2 looks like, an indication of what the larger one is. And in this case, I have to figure out what the 2x2 is going to translate as. This isn't some kind of reduction of it, right? No, not. I wouldn't say so. It could be what is the most common color in the quadrant. So this 2x2, you take the 4x4 and divide it into 2x2 quadrants, and which is the most common color. So in this top left quadrant, black is the most common. Top right, same. Bottom left is white. Bottom right. So this case, we're looking at black, white, white. Because it would be the same thing here. Now I need to make sure that black is the most common color in the left, but not in the right. Definitely here, but not there. Yeah, that's what that one is. 2 stars. Figured it out in like 30 seconds. The other one's down there. I just don't get. Let's try you out. A 3-star. Let's see if I can figure it out. Huh. Okay, so we start with a plain white grid. Does it move along from top left, moving right or down? I'm pretty sure it's going to start. This is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Looks like we got numbers here, which I would have made this a white cell if I was really trying to do numbers. So there might be something else going on. Unless it is numbers and it's indicated. Numbers would be hard to do because how would you know what the correct way to do? Like, say this was a 7. Is this how you do 7? Is this how you do 8? Like, how do we know what the correct way to make a number is? Like, is that what they want for 2, or is this what they want? That looks like a terrible 2. We could also make 5 like this. Like, what is their criteria on making a number? So I don't know if numbers is the way to do this. And then I wouldn't know what they stand for. Like, does the 9, is that what this is indicating? And the 6 is indicated by here? I don't know. This. Almost looks like a letter N, just really thick. There's something... It could be that there's some transformation from left to right that's also happening here. Like, this 9 to the 6 is being flipped upside down, and then there is an addition up here. This is changed. I don't know why. But then what is the transformation from here to here? Like, it's not a thing of, like, moving it on its side, right? Like, we suddenly have this. This is flipping it on the side. But then what would change from here to here? Right? See how it's going? Like, I don't think this is as simple as it's just being flipped on its side. This is like flip and rotation and flip. I don't see that one either. Are there any other pattern grids? I've seen 1, 2. Did one of them, but I've seen 2 up here, and then 2 in the pool below. Make sure I'm not missing any. So yeah, there's these 2 I haven't done. There's the one up top that's 3 stars. There's also a 3-star one here I have not done. Okay. This looks a little bit more manageable, but I bet it's not. So we have... it's not pentominoes or tetramas. It's a different number of every single one of these. My guess is all of these have to be different. This is just flipped. What's happening here? I'm going to guess 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have to figure out what comes fourth in all of these sequences, and they all use the same set. Unless it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I have to figure out what this set would be. That seems kind of rude. From here to here is a simple flip. From here to here, we just change this column. But this isn't what's happening here. Or here. From there to there, it's quite the change. There's 2, 3, and 1. From this one across, the top row stays unchanged for a long time, but that doesn't happen with any of the other ones. It looks like what's happening is we go from top to bottom. So what I could do is say, look at where the white cells are here and the white cells here and add them together. And that's where white cells would be in both cases. This set plus this set does make this set, and white plus white stays white. Here, yeah, so what I could say is there's definitely white cells there. There needs to be white cells here, so at some point there has to be a white cell in the center. If there's a dark cell, there can never be a dark cell there. And then here, yeah, that's correct, that's it. That's an interesting take. Does that addition play out with these other pattern grids? It doesn't seem like it. I can't use that logic here. Especially, it would have to go 1, 2, 3. And I don't know how on earth you would get this. So I don't think that's the logic. Is that going to apply down here at all? If I take another look at these hard puzzles? Like this plus that. No, it seems like this is a simple transform of something symmetrical. But I don't know the rule. I hope it's not an overly complicated rule, because the trouble with those is you just end up not feeling satisfied when you figure it out. I like it if the pattern is simple but difficult to discover. And then, because that way you know you're correct once you find the simple pattern that answers it, rather than, if you have a black cell in the corner and it's a Tuesday, you rotate it counterclockwise 480 degrees. Like, that kind of stuff is not interesting to solve. But if it's as simple as, well, you add these two together and get the result. It doesn't look like we're doing that here. Number of dark cells versus light cells doesn't seem to be correlated at all. This has 9 light cells, this has 6. This has 10 light cells, whereas this has 15. Yeah. No. No, they're not all multiples of 3. Doesn't seem to be based on pieces. These two seem to be like really noticeable patterns. Like this is just a hatching pattern, this hatching, that's just like crossing, whereas this is a snake pattern through. Whereas these three here aren't as recognizable as patterns, so there might be a recognizable pattern in here. Yeah, I can't say for sure. Hey, at least I solved 2 of the 5. That's more than can be said for the last time I was there. That's not going to be all the puzzles remaining, because if there's only 3 puzzles remaining there, but 14 left, there are going to be some more around here somewhere. Are there any more up in this location? Because I definitely grabbed what I thought were the final ones up here. Definitely got stuff down here. Oh, there's a 5-star puzzle. Maybe we make that the focus. Let's see if this one takes less than an hour. So exactly 1 symbol per light area. No. Oh, both white and black can't have branching paths. But white doesn't all have to be connected, just black. Exactly 1 symbol per light area. Hoo boy. Something white has to get down here, so that's gonna be from the 6. And it can't, it could be like this, but it can't come down like this. Doing something like this would be risky, because this would be the only way to make the 6 happen. This is more possible, but then, this is a bit of a tricky. Somebody's got to get to the center here, right? Probably the 15. I mean, not maybe the direct center, but the central area has got to be filled with white cells somewhere, and not too many of these other ones can reach it. The 7, the 15 can easily. The 5s can barely get there. But these spots down here got to be taken by 7 and 15. Also, in this area, needs at least 1 white cell, at least 1 dark cell. It's not going to be the 2. And the 7, 7 could get there like this. If I wanted to. This is an interesting way. This is the only way the 7 could reach this. But what if I did that? What if I said, this... if the 7 doesn't move up, this is going to be a dark cell, which would force this to be a light cell, which now means we have this going on. If I were to do this, I would have a problem. So I think I would be forced here, and then where are the dark cells going to come here? Because otherwise... yeah, I'm going to have to do some crazy stuff to make this work. Because these are now the 2 dead ends. Right? Oh dear. So this is in this huge assumption I'm making that this is where everything goes. Yeah, so if this is a dark cell right here, I have to do all this. But this can't connect, and this has nowhere to go. So that's not going to be it. Hold on. This has to be a light cell. That's for sure. Now, if this is a light cell here, then we are forced to make this choice again. And if I make this a dark cell, this all ends up as a problem. So I would have to do the same trick here. I think we would be in the same trouble as before, where I wouldn't be able to connect these. And what would these connect to? These would have to connect to the 15 somehow. This would have to go like so. This would have to go up at least once. If we had... Yeah, we couldn't do that, so... I think we'd end up doing that. Yeah. Dark cells connected. But now we have too many dead ends. So, that should solve this being a light cell. That should be a dark cell. That's what we're going to get here, which would make this a light cell, but I'm not sure about this. If this is a dark cell, you have trouble here, because if that's a dark cell, we're screwed. This can't be a dark cell. So yeah, if this is a dark cell, then... Oh, we would be in such trouble. We couldn't ever make all the black cells connected. Unless it was here? No. So this must be a light cell. Now, if this were a light cell, that's fine. But if it were a dark cell, that's also fine. It's if this one's a light cell, it's still not really trouble. Not entirely sure. They could both be dark cells for all I care. If this is a dark cell, that's where you end up in trouble. So this has to be a light cell. Uh-huh. That's gonna be dark cell. I don't think this... If this is a light cell, the 7's really constricted. It's possible we block the dark cells off here, and this is how things get out. No. If this is a light cell here, or this is a light cell. If we don't have dark cells coming up through here, in any way, the only way for the dark cells through is here, and then we're going to run into trouble with this 6, because we can't make that a dark cell. This would have to be... Now we're stuck here. We could do it this way. Again, this is with the dark cells not coming up this central part. We would be in trouble. So I think that's going to prove dark cells go through here. So this is not a dead end down this way. It still could be here, though. And we just come up. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Because we got to watch out. This has to extend to something. And it might be the 15? Which would mean this would have to come around like so. To make that work. Because if we bring this one up, this can't connect to the 5. And if it connects to the 6 like so, this is really troublesome. So I think that has to be a light cell. And we do have to bring this around. This connects to the 7, so it can't branch out. The 7 has to go this way. That is the end of that. Does it go around or not? That's the question. Gotta be a light cell somewhere in here. It's gonna be a 15. No. Is there any way this is a dark cell? That's the only way to make 6 without having... No, I could do this way. So this could be a dark cell. Is there any way this is a dark cell? No, because how would I fill this in? That can't be. So this has to be a light cell. Anyway, this is a dark cell. We'd have to have no light cells here. Again, this has to be a light cell. How about that could be dark cell, this could be a dark cell. Anyway, this is a dark cell. No, because then that would have to be a light cell, because if it's a dark cell, that's a light cell, it connects to the 6. And only one of these is going to connect to it, because 2 of them is going to force that. One of these dark cell. Not going to be that one. So there you go. That has to be dark. Now this could be light or dark. We don't know if this is this could mean that the dead ends of the line are here, or it could mean it's like this. So we're not sure yet on this, but that does mean this. Well, we could block it off here. This. Well, if this has to now connect somewhere. It can't connect to the 6, it'll overload. It can't connect to the 5, it'll overload. The only place to connect is 15. So it does have to connect here. There's no other way around but that, which is going to force dark cells like so. That can't happen now, so we do have dark cells like this. Now, there still could be dead ends here, because we still could bring the dark cell through this way. This 5... These... Oh, right. This we can't split off here. This brings me up to 12. Now, if I did something like this, if I put this white square here, it has to connect to 15. But then how do I do this dark area? Right? Because if I connect like this, and I bring the dark cells around, I block off the 15 before it reaches here, right? No, this could still go all the way around and then come through here as the main part. Also, if this is the light cell, that's a possibility. Possible. Cool. That's gotta be a dark cell. Just trying stuff. That's the only one I know. So if I had this as a dark cell, guarantee a light cell here. And here. And here. Which is fine. This is all totally 100% fine. Right? Like, this is super fine. That is not super fine. Hold on, let's back up a bit. If we have this scenario, how do I not make this the dead end of the line? There's no way. So this ends up being the dead end. This ends up not being a dark cell. Right? That just ends up being trouble. Like, I just am forced to make this the end. Not sure how I like that, because now I do have to go through here. This is okay. This is fine. This does have to come up. It can't extend out. Now, we are forced to do this. This is the other dead end. So far, so good. No. There's the problem. So I would have an issue there if I make the 2. Right? Is there any way that this doesn't bite me? Right? This is all the natural result. I could do it like this. I could add one more up. Bring this around. That's it. Got it. Whew, that's a fun one. Much easier than the other 5-star puzzle, but still very tricky. Got any other missing puzzles around here? I can always check my save stats file, but I'll do that later. There's still 13. So, they're pretty well hidden, except for the pattern grids I can't solve. Well, I've done these rings, yeah. Pretty sure I've taken care of all the rings. Taking care of this. This is done. Yeah. Definitely done all the puzzles I can that I have found. Puzzles I have found and that I know the answers to are complete. So there are 10 puzzles I have not found. And I'm probably not going to find them now. Don't feel like it. Just do not feel like doing that. So we'll head back to the mainland, shall we? Return to the effigy to... I don't remember asking for the Wanderer's quest, but I suppose I'll take the money. Yeah. Just gets that out of my UI. I don't have to look at it again. Before I go anywhere else, I think I'll actually stop here and make a separate episode for something else. So that's it. I will say thank you for watching, as I'd always do, and leave you to the rest of your life while I go do something else, and I'll come back and record something at a later date. You know, the way YouTubers do. See y'all around. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.